Well, on the last show, I spoke about possibly being ripped off for all things, you know, from whatever you could possibly choose from being ripped off. I chose to be ripped off through 2 pieces of Velcro for over £5. It's shocking, isn't it? However, I've made up for that. Oh, bargains have been found, boys and girls. Bargains have been found. Yes. Now, you remember, a number of weeks ago, I purchased a pair of G-Star jeans specifically to go and meet the great Suko in New York. Oh, we should have our own jingle, I think. Suko in New York. She should have her own jingle or fanfare so that every time she's mentioned, this blast of noise goes off. What do you reckon, eh? Oh, well, please yourselves. Yes, after purchasing those for £90 for 1 pair of jeans, dear, I decided, you remember, in the last show that I would go to town and find some cheaper jeans. And I have done so. In fact, I have a pair on today. Just going to do a little twirl there. A new pair of jeans. And I actually only went out to buy 1 pair of jeans. However, I went a bit mad. The bad news is, well, no, actually, this is wrong. I thought I had my credit card with me while I was out shopping. So I went in a shop. Now, those of you that are fashion conscious, I don't want you to hear what I'm going to say now, okay? This is only for unfashion conscious people. Although the shop themselves would say a different thing. I went to, now, please, no, don't, fashion people just switch off for about 10 seconds, if that, okay? Don't listen to this. I went to, let me just check if there's anyone, I mean, my friend Ron, you know Ron, the stuck-up one, he would go mad if he knew this. I went into a shop called Burtons. Yeah, Burtons. It's just in Bracknell town centre. And I thought, I'll have a look at some of the jeans in here. Oh, my God. Bargains or what? I looked at 1 pair of jeans. They were how many were it? £20. So I went in and tried them on. Now, in the dressing room, I took the size 34 waist. And just to be on the safe side, the size 36 waist as well. Now, as I say, that's another thing. Don't start going around telling everyone about the size 36 waist, okay? Unfortunately, there are dubious characters who watch this programme only on Saturdays, apparently. Name of Alan and Chris, who are 2 regulars in the 2 brewers in Clapham, who are likely to tell everyone about this in the pub, which I find rather disappointing with you boys. I thought, you know, when I'm doing this show, it's our secret, you know, information that I pass on to you is only for your ears. It's not general gossip, dear. It's not gossip. I mean, anyone who watches this show, due to the kind of adverts on Fit Lads for the music mixes I do. Okay, there was a very funny comment on there the other day. I do these music mixes, okay, DJ mixes, usually about 1 hour and 20 minutes long, enough to go onto a CD, all licensed with a PRS and all that. So don't come down and say, oh, you've got to need a license. I've got one, dear. I've got the license. So there, I've got the license. And someone on the Fit Lads thing put, oh, you get all the gossip on here. Well, you certainly do. But this is not gossip. I don't want this spread around, okay? I mean, it's bad enough with the fashion people say, oh, he's got those from Burtons. Yes, I have, and I am proud of it, especially when I tell you the price. Yes, especially when I tell you the price. So, Alan and Chris, this is not general gossip for the pub, okay? This little show I do is quietly sharing information with you and it coming back via emails from other people to me. It's our little secret. It is. So, And I was about to say, so I took into the dressing room the size 34 and just to be on the safe side, the size 36. And I'm shocked and horrified to inform you that I couldn't do the size 34 up. And before you say, didn't you try the loose-fitting ones? These were the loose-fitting ones, lovey. They were the loose-fitting ones. Okay? So I got those, and then I came back out. I said, I love those ones, mate. Those ones, mate. He said, OK, sir. I said, oh. And then I saw a sign, a little label, or a large label, on the rack where I'd got these jeans from. £20 each, or 2 for £35. Bing! Immediately my eyes lit up, and a halo appeared above my head. And it said one word on there, bargain. I then, oh, I'll go and have another look over there, mate. I'll see you do a special offer on there. He said, OK. So went over there and chose another pair of jeans. Same size, 36. But even when they say they're the same size, I always put them together. You know, the waistbands, just to check that they are the same size, right? So I put those down there. And while standing there, there was someone in front of me in the queue. While standing there, I was looking around and thought, oh, they look nice over there. I then walked across the store to this other pair of jeans, which I can't remember what they were now, 35, 45, 50, for £30. Now, these were different to the ones I've got on. They kind of had pockets all over the place. And I quite like those. I said, oh, can I try these on as well? Yeah, just go out the back, mate. So I went out the back. I picked up the size 34 and the size 36 again, thinking that there must have been something wrong with the other cut. And guess what? No, there wasn't anything wrong with the other cut. Once again, the size 36 fitted me. Well, I say they fitted me a little bit loose. Now and again, when I'm walking along with these on, I have to pull them back up. But that's quite a normal thing. Have you seen the people who are sort of round about the early 20s? They're always walking around there, hoisting their jeans back up. They don't need a belt. They just hoist the jeans back up. So I then put those on the shelf, and then standing there, I saw another pair which was slightly dearer still. And I put those on the pole. So I've ended up, instead of buying one pair, I couldn't stop myself, dear. I just couldn't stop myself. So I ended up in Burtons buying 4 pairs of jeans. Now, that might sound extravagant, but one of the things that went through my mind in the dressing room was the real reason I've been wearing tracksuit bottoms now for about a year and a half is because I've been trying to get my weight to go back down so that I can get into my size 34 jeans, my 501s, those sort of things, right? But I don't think it's going to happen. I honestly don't think it's going to happen. My weight now hovers around the 13 stone mark constantly. It goes up a little bit, it goes down a little bit, but usually round about the 13 stone. And I now accept, boys and girls, that it's not going to go down anymore. So that's it. So I thought, well, forget it now. I don't want to be wearing tracksuit bottoms forever and a day. And my niece tells me off. She thinks I shouldn't go to work in tracksuit bottoms. And I say to her, look, I'm a DJ, dear. I can wear whatever I want. And I can, and I do. But thinking about what she said, I thought, you're not going to go back down to size 32, 34, let alone 32. So I've decided, that's it, move up. So we're now on to size 36 jeans. I'm sorry about that. I do feel I've let you down. I mean, what would Fern Britain from this morning ever have said? Maybe I should have one of those stomach staples. Or gastric. Do I need a gastric band? Is that what I need? I'm morbidly obese. I am morbidly obese. Terrible. So we've got size 36 jeans, 4 pairs. How much? Now, bear in mind, when I bought those designer ones a few weeks ago, it was £90. Well, I'd say £90, £89 for 1 pair. This time, 4 pairs of jeans. Thank you very much. Bargain. Was it 70 quid? No. Was it 80 quid? No. Was it 200 quid? No. £105 for 4 pairs of jeans. Thank you very much. Bargain. Cling. Very pleased with those until I got to work and I told my friend Grant, who I work with in the Clapham place that I work at, the Two Brewers in Clapham. I told him that I'm very pleased with myself. I've bought 4 pairs of jeans. He said, "What'd you pay?" I said, 105 for 4 pairs. He said, "Well, how much were the ones you've got on?" I said, "Well, they were £20, but there were 2 for 40. So that was 17, 2 for 35. So that's £17.50. Notice how quickly I was able to work that out. Oh, I don't make a mistake when it comes to money. No, there's been many, many people. And it does annoy me when I go somewhere like Kentucky Fried Chicken in Clapham Junction, right? No, Clapham High Street. You go in there and you order an ice cream. Now, they call them in there an avalanche. Okay, an avalanche. Stupid name for a blooming ice cream. Why can't they just call it an ice cream? I don't understand. And it's one of those Mr. Whippy ones, you know, all soft and lovely, and they sprinkle things on the top. Anyway, an avalanche is 99 pence. And do you know what? The times I've had to stand there and ask for my 1 pence change, they just assume automatically that you don't want it. I'm not having any of that, dear. I want my 1 pence change, please. Thank you very much. So you give them £1 and, you give them the £1 and they give you the ice cream and then you're standing there and they say yes to the next person. I said, "Excuse me, I haven't given them my change." "Oh." And I open the till and give me my penny back. Look up, don't laugh, look after the pennies and the pounds will look after themselves. Unfortunately, not the pounds around my waist, which are just not going to shift anymore, are they? My sister had the audacity to call it middle-aged bread. I said, "I'll let you know when I'm middle-aged, dear." She said, "You're 46. I said, "Yes." She said, "Well, isn't that middle-aged?" I said, "No, I intend to live until 20,000 years old. And I've been booked to talk for every single second by radio stations and small television stations all over the world, and I intend to speak for every last second. God didn't give me these vocal cords to keep them shut, did he? There you are then. Now, where were we? So there we are. 4 pairs of jeans, £105. That's all right, isn't it? Anyway, my mate Grant, he said to me, he said, "You should have gone to Asda." He said, "I get them sometimes for £6 in Asda, sometimes £10. And I said, "Well, what are those ones you got on?" He said, "These are the £10 ones." And they looked fine to me. They kind of fitted him closely with the material tightly stretched across his firm buttocks. Hello to you, my name's Chris Reardon. This is United Kingdom Talk, our 3 times a week talk show. My email address, if you'd like to join in at any time, is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. The emails do sometimes take a week or so to come up in a future show because I actually record these a week in advance, okay? So once again, the email address, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. The main website for the show, you can either listen via an internet radio station or a small FM station somewhere perhaps you're listening, or you can listen to the podcast or indeed watch the show. We video the shows as well, and that goes out at the same address, unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk is the main website, unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. And the music mixes I just mentioned there, I do make 1 or 2 DJ music mixes each week. And if you'd like to download one of those and try one of those, that's fine. There's no charge for anything I do. I am a media prostitute without actually asking for money. I am A free media prostitute. I think that's what I am. Prostituting my services all over the world for nothing. I'm a bit like the BBC without licence payers' money. Okay, if you'd like to download one of the DJ music mixes, they're about an hour and 20 minutes long. All music, no chat at all. It's fairly poppy stuff, okay? It's quite pop stuff, nice beat to it. Then you can find those by going to Chris Reardon Show, all one word, chrisreardonshow.co.uk, chrisreardonshow.co.uk. Now, I did promise you a bit of an email catch-up programme today. So that's what we'll do. First of all, let's say hello to... Oh, by the way, my niece Tracey is a little bit better. Looks like she's been hit down by this dreadful swine flu. She's moved back into my sister's house for a few days because her boyfriend's away working. So she's moved back to my sister's house, who's looking after her, and my little nephew Jimmy's looking after her. God knows, I mean, I shan't be going there for a while. The entire house will be infected with those viruses. God knows we've got enough viruses floating around in our bodies at the moment. We don't need another one to deal with. Talking of which, I heard that the body can only have one virus in it at a time. Does anyone know anything about that? Is that true? Is it true that if you've got some sort of virus in you, you can't get another one? I mean, it's just something I heard recently. I don't know if it's true or not. Does anyone know? Do we have any medical people listening at the moment? Do we have any medical people listening secretly? Because you know about our secret listeners, don't you? Yep, they're the ones who are plugging in at work, listening to the show without anyone else knowing. They are secret listeners. Perhaps, I wonder if we have any doctors listening to the show at this moment while you are performing open heart surgery or kidney removal surgery, or anything like that. Are you listening to this programme while you are operating on someone? If so, what are you actually doing at this moment? I would be interested to know about this. What are you doing any woman become man surgery or anything like that? Let us know. Obviously, don't leave your patient now, but text me. Email me, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Anyway, so Tracey's getting better very slowly. I did send her those flowers. I sent her this pink, what was it? Pink, I don't know what it was called. Some sort of pink selection. I found a little florist where she lives. She lives in Woodhall Spa, quite close to my sister in Lincolnshire. Lovely little village. Nothing goes on much at night time around there. Excuse me, I've still got this cough hanging around. It's been a while now, hasn't it? It hasn't got any worse, though. So there we are. Tracey is a lot better. And she got the flowers. I did send her flowers. And it makes people feel better, doesn't it? Sending them things, little things like that, didn't they? I think I asked for some chocolates as well. I don't know if they sent the chocolates or not. Anyway. Let's hello to Jeremy, who we haven't heard from for a long time. Jeremy in Pittsburgh. Hi, Chris. First off, I'd like to apologise for rushing you along on one of your recent shows. I didn't have a clue I was doing it, but as soon as you mentioned that I was rushing you along with your subjects, I instantly felt sorry. I don't even remember what was being discussed at the time. But I did realise it was rude of me to rush you. I said I was sorry while I was sitting here at my computer, but I don't think you heard me. No, I didn't. I didn't hear you, Jeremy. My ears must have been... Oh, I want to sneeze. I haven't got any... Oh, there's no tissues in here. Catch it and bin it, isn't it? Oh, dear. Oh, don't say I've got it as well now. We got the cough. That's enough to be going with now, isn't it, eh? Yes, well, don't worry about not remembering what was being discussed. I never remember anything. I'm going to have to blow my nose now. Can you just hang on while I just take myself to the lavatory and get some toilet paper to blow my nose? I won't be a minute now. Oh, I've got wires everywhere today. Just a minute. Got wire. Oh, because we got the new microphone today, which is clipped onto the side of my shirt. Let me just go in the toilet and Excuse me, just a minute. Oh. Good job I got all these things in here. Oh, that's better. Flush the chain. We don't hide anything from the audience here. It all happens as we speak. There we are. That's sorted. Put those wires under there. Or I'll put the wires on the floor. That's it, I'll do, won't it? Okay. Now, where was I? Oh, yes. Don't worry about not remembering what we were discussing at the time. I don't remember anything. Is my mirror ball revolving? Yes, thank God for that. I thought for one moment we were sitting here with a static mirror ball, which is something I really hate. I hate going into clubs and seeing mirror balls that are not revolving. I mean, it's cheap, isn't it? You know the little motors on the mirror ball? They're dirt cheap, only about 20 quid. I can never understand how a club can allow their beautiful balls to not be revolving. Anyway, Jeremy says, yes, you're right. It was a Liberty Deer. Terribly sorry. Sorry, I'll try not to do it again. Please don't rush me. I don't like being rushed, okay? Now, he says, on to the ridiculous things. You mentioned you knew a couple that had an enema 5 times a day. Well, no, you're a little bit wrong there. This was a news story, I believe, that I read out. Okay? It was a news story. I don't actually personally know people that... Well, I don't know anyone who has ever admitted to me that they have an enema. Oh, the thought of all that muck coming out. Oh, bleh, oh God. Bleh, oh, no. No, it's very unnatural. If the Lord had wanted us to have enemas, he would have provided us with a tube and a bottle of water at birth. Would he not have? Yes, I think so. I think an enema 5 times a day is an extreme thing. It is really not natural to have such an interaction with your colon and cleanse it that many times a day. Well, I don't think it is. You know, isn't the inside of the body made to hold that stuff for a while? He says, I would compare this to taking 3 to 5 showers a day. While super cleaning yourself, eventually your skin will be raw. I would imagine this to be the same with your colon. It can't be right, can it, eh? I mean, I must say, since the whole flu thing, when I'm at work, I now wash my hands about once an hour. At least once an hour. And they feel a bit softer, but I don't feel raw. And I do wonder, am I washing them too much? Especially after speaking to that doctor friend of mine a couple of days ago. Because I asked them, is it really, you know, picking up germs and the flu virus and all that, is it really as easy to avoid as washing your hands constantly? And she said, yes, it is. The only other way is for someone to sneeze sort of quite close to you. You know, someone sneezes, and they usually sneeze in their hand, don't they? So and then they touch something, and the virus is on there. And the next 25 people who touch that same surface and then touch their face are going to pick it up. So it really is, this doctor reckons it really is as easy as washing your hands. And as I said in the last show, how many nurses do you know that go sick from work because they've picked something up at work? I don't know any. And they're always washing their hands, aren't they? So I think we've got something there. Keep washing those hands. But colon, no, I don't go along with it at all. There's something not right about pumping yourself up that end with loads of hot soapy water or whatever it is they use. I don't know whether they use some sort of cleansing agent, do they? Put a bottle of bleach up there, that'd kill it all stone dead, and probably you as well. Scientists nowadays, Jeremy says, are even saying that enemas aren't that good for you. At best, I would say it's smart to limit your enemas to 1 or 2 a week. Even one a day seems to be a bit extreme to me, unless you have some sort of serious lower colon problem already. Yeah, I suppose, yeah, you're right there. If the doctor says that whatever problem you've got can be helped with enemas, then I suppose that's a different thing altogether. But, you know, I think there's far too many people who are now their own doctor. And they seem to know kind of what's best, if you see what I mean. Now, just a minute, I've lost a bit of paper now. There we are, found a bit of paper. And it's, you know, leave the doctor's job to the doctor, I think. And let's stop self-diagnosing ourselves. I'm not, to be honest, I'm not that keen on the phone-in, what would you call it now? The NHS Direct. I'm not that keen on that, where you phone a number, describe symptoms to someone who's at the other end of the phone, and then they tell you what's wrong with you. I much prefer to go and see a doctor. I mean, we all act differently, don't we, with our symptoms and that. And I don't know. I'm not that keen on prognosis over the telephone. I'd rather be face-to-face with a doctor. Jeremy says, and coffee enemas. I had to stop your show because I couldn't hear it over my own laughter. Yeah, these people that I was talking about a few shows ago, they have different types of enema, one of which was a coffee enema. Jeremy says, I really had a hard time believing there was such a thing, but knowing people, I guess I shouldn't be surprised. Just take your coffee like normal people. I hope it's not too hot when it goes up there. I certainly hope that the coffee enema folks blow on their cups until it's nice and cool before drinking their coffee. He puts drinking in inverted commas. It's bad enough having a burnt tongue from coffee that's too hot. Can you imagine a burnt bum? Or inside of your bum? Oh, God, isn't it awful? What some people get up to, I tell you. You never know what goes on behind closed doors, do you, eh? I mean, what goes on behind your closed doors? That's the question I'm asking you, Jeremy. What goes on behind those closed doors, eh? Pardon? What do you mean, what goes on behind my closed doors? Do you want to buy the video? No, it's not for sale. Jeremy says, and as for the elves, because we often have our elf expert, Robert in Iceland, he says, as for the elves, Jeremy says, you're absolutely right. If I just bought one elf and Cricket, which is his cat, somehow mangled the elf, there would be a problem with retribution from the Elf Society. For that reason, I've decided to see if Suko, and he puts, what is her title? Is she the American Elf Queen? Would be able to sell them to me in bulk. That way, I could rotate the elves for Cricket, his cat, to play with. When one was tired, I'd just throw him back in the box and get out a fresh one. Well, I hope there's no elves listening to this. I really do. That sounds like a good idea for business now that I think about it. Do you think Suko could fill a warehouse with elves for a nationwide elf cat toy business? Oh dear, Jeremy. When are people going to understand? Elves are not products. They are not things to be bought and sold. These are little beings. They are little people. They're not to be used as pets and toys and slaves. I mean, Maureen has only just been forgiven for her comments on wanting an elf as a slave. And now you're going on about wanting an elf as a plaything for your cat. I think you're going to be in serious trouble, to be honest, Jeremy. There's going to be a lot of elves And we have, this is the #1 show, the #1 video programme for elf viewers all over the world. You didn't know that, did you? They have elf television. That's what they have, elf television. And the test card on there is a picture of me surrounded by elves. And you want an elf as a plaything for your cats? I personally think that's worse than Maureen in Spain wanting an elf as a slave to do mundane things that she doesn't like doing, like washing up and all that. I don't know where you people get these ideas from. I really don't. I'm shocked and horrified. I can see someone like Esther Ranson setting up an elf helpline. Years ago, she set up this thing for children to ring, Childline. I can see her setting up Elfline, something for abused elves to ring, because people like you are abusing them or want to abuse them. I'm not having it. We're not having it. They are little people. They are not playthings, dear. Jeremy goes on, and as for buying little people, I've considered your offer as a little man. Oh, are you a little man? Do you know they can do wonders at clinics now for that problem? You didn't have to share me that information, Jeremy. Jeremy is he's a little man. I didn't know that. I'm a short man. I'm not a little man. I'm a short man. Now, there's a big, big difference. I mean a big difference. Jeremy says, I used to have a bobblehead Buddha that used to sit on my car. I wondered what you were going on about then, to be honest. I used to have a bobblehead Buddha that used to sit on my car dashboard. But he has since fallen off, and I haven't been able to reattach him. Well, that's the trouble, Jeremy, with a lot of bits and pieces like that. Once they fall off, that's it, mate. You shouldn't use them too much. Don't use it too much because it will just drop off. Be careful. If I were to paint you in gold or silver, do you think you could sit on my dashboard and bobble your head around as I drove? I beg your pardon. I am not an ornament. I am a real person, like the elves. We are real. What is your problem, dear? He says, I really miss the bobblehead Buddha action. I'll be needing you to sit on the dashboard, both in extremely hot and cold weather, but if you're good, I could buy you a bobblehead, what's this? Vishnu to keep you company. Bobbleheadbuddhas.com, if you doubt that I had one. Or we might have a look at that. Bobbleheadbuddhas.com. Let me just circle that on my email. I don't actually have a computer here in Studio 2, although I am thinking about installing one in here. I think I've got a spare one downstairs, a quite low-powered computer that I might put over there in the corner, or maybe put the screen up there along the wall. Because at the moment, I cannot sing for you in this room. You know I like to sing now and again. Well, I can't do it in this room, unfortunately. Shock horror. Huh? You're probably pleased at that. I'm not going to sit on your dashboard and bobble my head around. Do I look like an ornament? Besides, I'll probably break the dashboard with my 13 stone, dear. You talked about pet airlines in your most recent show. It seems a lot cheaper to send pets to places than people. I might not be able to take a vacation for myself this year, but perhaps I could send my cat Cricket overseas to visit you. One of us should have a good time at least. Or do you think a cat would have a better time in France? Do you know, I don't know. I don't think so. No. I don't think anyone would have a better time in France, to be honest. No, not at all. You'd have a much better time here in the United Kingdom of Great Britain, Northern Ireland, Scotland and Wales and England. Land of hope and glory, mother of the seas. Come on, you don't want to go to France, dear. or all those nasty little European countries, come to the United Kingdom. All are welcome here. They're pouring in here, dear. They are pouring in and no one can stop them all. We're happy to have you from wherever you're coming from. Feel free to come over, come on the train or walk through the tunnel. Customs will never get you. We have an open door policy here in the United Kingdom and God knows enough people use it. He says, do you think I need to send along a translation book so Cricket could understand what the French cats were saying? Oh, no. That's no problem at all. You see, when you travel to other countries in the world, Jeremy, and you may want to inform your cat that, I've decided that every country should speak English. And if they don't, if you are in somewhere like France, Germany, wherever like that, if they don't speak English, then you speak to them in English louder and louder until they do. Example. Can I have a loaf of bread, please? Pardon? Can I have a loaf of bread, please? Pardon? Can I have a loaf of bread, please? Bread! Can I have bread? And that's how you do it. You speak to them louder and louder in English until they understand. Land of... And that's all from Jeremy from Pittsburgh. And he says, P.S. I don't know what a minger is, but I would never call you one. A minger is someone who is not very good looking. And I do class myself in that category, Jeremy. Now, don't write in and say, oh, you're not Chris, you're not Chris. I am. Otherwise, I wouldn't be living on my own as I am now. So lonely. So lonely. Thank you, Jeremy. Chris at UnitedKingdomTalk.co.uk is my email address. Now, we mentioned Robert from Iceland. Here is an email from him. Dear Chris and friends of United Kingdom Talk, special communique from the President of the United States of Elfland. That's a press release from the Department for Matters Concerning Interaction with Humans. Now, Jeremy, I suggest you listen very carefully to this. The DMCIH, okay? Oh, you don't know what that is. Weren't you just listening? I just told you what that is. The DMCIH, that is the Department for Matters Concerning Interaction with Humans, DMCIH, has been meeting in emergency session to formulate a measured response to the human known as Maureen. That's Maureen in Spain, who recently suggested that she should have an elf as a slave. The department has noticed that this was an oversight and there was no intent to cause offence. In light of this, we propose no further action. Praise the Lord for that. Indeed, our Spanish elves have reported only good things from the said human Maureen, and this has, of course, been taken into consideration. However, the department does note with serious concern the actions and words of the human James Dean. James Dean, of course, from matineeshow.co.uk. Matineeshow.co.uk. It is to be authorised the sending of monitors to his house and to report back to the department. Indeed, the human so named should be aware that the elf race does not ride cats and has never done so. We regard the cat nation with love and respect. Oh, isn't that lovely? Elves and cats love each other. The elf mode of transport for those interested are golden clouds of pure fairy dust. There seems to be a lot of that floating around in this room, to be honest. Sadly, an undercover force of black elves have reported that they only found dust in domicile of Mr. Dean was not of the fairy type, but more, rather, a human type. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. Elves have for centuries governed the lives of humans. Indeed, the human known as Mr. Gordon Brown is in fact a lowland mountain troll. A race of magical people. It was the intent of the Icelandic elves to take over the financial coffers of the United Kingdom, but we could not find any money, only IOUs. Sadly, it would seem they are in worse state than we had thought. However, it is not all bad news for Mr. Cameron. We have a genetically modified elf to take over. Mr. Cameron is in fact an elf from the Isle of Wight and has shown promise in dealing with the said humans. This concludes the matter as addressed by this department, and should be noted that the unresolved items will be referred to His Highness the King of the Elves, Robert the Viking. So there we are, a very important document there from the DMCIH, the Department for Matters Concerning Interaction with Humans. An interesting translation there from Icelandic Robert. You were saying there, sadly, an undercover force of black elves. I think you meant dark elves there, didn't you? Okay. Now, I've come across that translation before we get people start screaming that you're a racist there, which of course you are not, as I know. But I had this translation problem once from a very good friend of mine. I haven't seen him for years now. German he was. And for dark, he would say black. And he actually offended quite a few of my black friends sometimes. Completely what's the word? Unknowingly. Instead of using the word black, he instead of using the word dark, like, you know, you're from the dark side. Well, he would say, no, you're from the black side. Do you see what I mean? So there's a little translation thing there, but I know what you mean. Sadly, an undercover force of dark elves have reported, you know, as in darkness, as in evil. Thank you, Robert. And talking of evil, dark things, my nephew and his girlfriend have recently bought a little black cat. And it is the most gorgeous thing, but they've got a particular picture of it where its mouth's open and it's clearly annoyed about something. It's like that. And he looks like an evil, evil cat. Oh, we love our pets, don't we, eh? Do you like pets? We like pets, yes. Let's have a look here. And still on the subject, this is really turning into a bit of an elf programme today. Suko writes, it is with great honour that I, Suko Sullivan, accept the position of Section Chief, American Association of Elves, Lower Manhattan Division. I promise to advocate as necessary to protect the physical integrity and safety of all elves, trolls, pixies, sprites and leprechauns, as is their right under the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. In preparation for my new position as Section Chief of the New York State Association of Elves, under the aegis of the American Association of Elves, I have taken it upon myself to learn more about the global elven community. I have also purchased a Berlitz Elfish course. Learning Elvish is proving to be quite a challenge, almost as difficult as Mandarin, which I've been studying for 10 years, although unlike Mandarin, it does have an alphabet. An alphabet. I love it! An alphabet. An alphabet. I've lost my place. And the vocabulary is not as extensive as they are a simple people. For example, there appears to be no words for cable television, IMAX, sadomasochism. Sadomasochism? What on earth are you into, Suko? Sadomasochism, oh dear, sadomasochism, heavy metal, technical support, high definition, diagnostician, and sushi. No words in the elfish in the alphabet for those things. Mandarin and Elvish do have some similarities in that they are both tonal, although Elvish tones are much higher pitched. Are they a bit like that, Suko? Much higher pitched, hello? I am Robbie the Elf, and I have come to say hello to you. I've learned that elves are self-sufficient people who hunt and grow their own food. Well, maybe that's what's happening to me, Suko. Maybe I'm going to become an elf, what with all this growing I'm doing outside at the moment. My tomatoes and my strawberries, my corn, my sunflowers, looking rather radiant at the moment. I was hoping to do a show outside, but it's all showery weather. 1 minute the rain's coming, and it comes down hard. Rain's coming down. We're not having a good summer at all now. It's awful. Awful, the summer. 1 minute it's raining, then the sun comes out, and I don't dare start a programme in the garden at the moment, which is a shame because the flowers are beautiful. All the hanging baskets are bursting into colour, and I've got tomatoes on the plants and everything, red tomatoes, and I can't get the camera down there at the moment because it's just keeps raining. Suko says they particularly love apples. Now, I have an apple tree, and I've got apples this year. Yes, I've got apples on. It's only a small tree. The only thing with apple trees is that after you plant it, I think it takes about 3 years to get any fruit, doesn't it? It is said that one apple can feed an entire elf colony for a week. Ant farming is the major industry among most European elves. American elves tend to be more white collar. Famous elves in history: Finwë, Elwë, Algoroth, Galadriel. Modern day famous elves: Jasper Smarty Pants, Augustus Left Wrist Stewart Saggy Pants, Elfin John, Elvis Presley, and Tom Cruise, who is half elf. Long live Robert, the King of the Elves. And that's from Suko in New York. A very, very good speech there, Suko, my darling. Very, very good indeed. Dear me, I haven't got to do a lot on this show, have I? We're catching up with all these emails, dear. How are we doing? 10 minutes, okay. Hello to Maureen in Espagna, Spain. Maureen in Spain. Hola. Notice, look, I'm doing it without the H. Hola. I've just watched your programme where you sang happy birthday to me twice. It was lovely and I was thrilled. Thank you, thank you. That's all right. That's what I like, to sing happy birthday to people. If it's your birthday and you want me to sing happy birthday, can you give us a few days, about a week or so's notice, maybe a couple of weeks' notice? Put the date on there and I will sing happy birthday to you, or indeed one of your loved ones. What better present than that person waking up into the morning and seeing my beaming face on their computer screens or on their DVD player, if you've burnt me to a DVD, and open their eyes and there I am singing happy birthday. What better present could you give someone? Come on, be honest. Talking of that, does anyone actually burn these shows to a DVD? I'd be interested to know that. Does anyone do that? Burn my shows to a DVD? And why do you do that? Do you do that for yourself or to send them on? Be interested to know that. Please let me know if you do that. My email address, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. There is a postal address to the show as well, which I shall give you in a moment, okay? If you want the postal address, hang around. I'm about to give that to you after this email. Regarding your programme of the 30th of July last week, I'm sure I watched this one a week before. I remember seeing the yellow Roberts radio because I have the same model radio in red. Oh, where is that? Oh, yeah, I've got that here. 1 minute. My yellow Roberts radio. Now, The story behind this radio, it was either a Christmas present or a birthday present, which I purchased for my mother. And the sound quality, these are not cheap radios, Roberts radios, okay? But actually, it's a bit dusty, that is. I don't know what it's doing up here, actually. It should be in the kitchen and used rather than sitting up here doing nothing. But, and it's got FM, medium wave and long wave on there. But the quality of the sound that comes out of that little yellow Roberts radio is really very good. It's some of the best sound I've ever heard. Now, the radio itself, when I bought this, cost me about £100. And that would have been, about 10 years ago now. But it was worth the money. The quality of the sound coming out of the Roberts radio is really very, very good indeed. So I bought that for my mum. And of course, when she died, it's one of the things that I collected from the house. Anyway, she says, I remember seeing the yellow Roberts radio because I have the same model in red. So you either downloaded this program by accident or I am mad or psychic. Well, actually, you're quite right. As you know, I record the shows a week in advance. As soon as I've recorded them, I send them up to various different places, the various different servers. I then have to hit a button that says private, so it stops you seeing it until the correct day comes along, and then I hit another button and it goes out. Well, I'd forgotten to hit the button that said private. And I logged on a little bit later on in the day, I think, to just check everything. And I realised, and I looked at my, because there's usually a couple of shows waiting to be watched. And I looked at the shows that were waiting to be watched, and one of them said 43. Because there's a little thing that says amount of views. And it said 43, and I thought, well, that's strange. That show hasn't gone out yet. And then went on further investigation, I realised that I hadn't hit the private button. So you saw it before it had, of course, already, obviously it had already been recorded, but I wasn't supposed to let it go yet. So yes, you're quite right. You've probably seen that show twice. Sorry about that. Did it? And you've got to watch them in order because it kind of flows. Sometimes we only get through half an email at the end of the show, and if you watch the show two after that and not the one after, then it doesn't flow properly. Do you get it? Oh, I'm sure you do. You know what I'm talking about. Oh, hang on a minute. Where's my thing now? I'm losing bits and pieces here. So, yes, you're quite right, Maureen. As soon as I noticed that, I hit the private, and then that stopped anyone else watching it. But, of course, you saw it when it came round on the correct date. You're quite right, yes. Now, here's something. I hope you don't mind me saying this, but I feel your new Britannia studio. Oh, I like that. I like that, the Britannia studio. I do like that very much. The only thing is I'm going to have to get the jingle redone now. You know, the one that at the beginning that says, from the Mirrorballs Studios in Royal Berkshire. But that needs to be redone to, from the Britannia studio. I like that, the Britannia studio. Oh, yes. You've got that right there, Maureen. I think we might do that. But I don't know, I'm going to have to get I don't know whose voice that was who did that jingle. I can't find him again. I don't know who that is. I actually, some years ago now, 4 or 5 years, I kept emailing the guy who made that jingle for me, but he never replied to me. He must have got the emails. I kept asking him who it was, and he never bothered replying to me, unfortunately. So I don't know who that person is who made that jingle. Such a good voice. He says, she says, sorry, but the name seems to fit. Yeah, absolutely. Britannia Studio. I like that. She says, it would look so much better if it wasn't so cluttered. It would look better without the shelving unit, which is next to me, which dominates and takes up valuable space. Sorry, Chris, just my opinion, but you look so cramped in that little space, and there's no room for any guests, so you may want to interview. In fact, you now appear to have less space now than you had in the other room. But despite my comments, I'm still loving your shows. And that's from Maureen in Spain. In sunny Torrevieja. 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 I'm sorry, Torrevieja. Sorry for the capitals, but too late to change now as I'm just off to bed. Toodle pip. Sweet dreams, Maureen. Thanks for that, Maureen. No, this studio is not... It may look more cluttered to you, but it's very, very interesting, Maureen. We've got a bit of a difference of opinion here. My friend Wayne, the butler, also thinks it's better if you're just... If those of you that watch the show via Chris Reardon... what is it now? United Kingdom Talk.tv. That's the video thing. United Kingdom Talk.tv. Wayne, the butler, he doesn't like the clutter either. But other people like to see little things around me. So it's a bit of a toss-up. And besides, if someone does come, and we will have guests, I'm sure, when James Dean comes back again, I can always move this stuff to one side, and there's plenty of room for another chair. All right, Maureen, so thanks for that. Quickly with the postal address, because I'm nearly out of time. If you want to put pen to paper, it's Chris Reardon, United Kingdom Talk, P.O. Box 4073, Bracknell, Bracknell, RG 429ED, United Kingdom. Okay, that's the postal address. Email address, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Still some emails here. We've got Damien in Poland and Tom Harris. Hello, Tom. And a few more all coming up in the next show. Mark S as well. Thanks for watching and listening. I'll see you on the next show. Myself, Chris Reardon. Bye-bye now.